You ever have one of those days where your whole life turns upside down in the space of a single scream? That's how it started for me. Just a regular Thursday, mopping floors, chasing dust bunnies, thinking about what I'd make for dinner, when suddenly I heard a sound that made my heart leap out of my chest. It wasn't loud, not really, but it was sharp, like glass cracking underfoot. I dropped my mop, water splashed everywhere, but I couldn't care less about the mess. Something was wrong. You know what I mean? I turned my head and saw it right away. Smoke, creeping along the ceiling in the hallway, as silent as a thief. Ethan, I called, my voice shaking, because that little boy, 5 years old, golden hair, always hugging that beat-up teddy bear, he was somewhere in that house. He didn't answer. You ever get that gut feeling, like you just know you can't wait another second? That was me. I tore off my apron, dropped everything, and ran. My feet were bare, slapping against the cold marble. Every portrait on the wall staring at me like they were judging. Rich people's houses always feel too big until you really need to find someone. The air was getting hotter, thicker, the smoke biting my throat. By the time I reached the stairs, I could see the fire had started in the study. Drapes worth more than my whole year's salary already going up in flames. The heat was so intense it felt like my skin might peel off. Still, I heard it, a little cough, just a scared, choking sound. Ethan, I yelled, and there he was, at the top of the stairs, shaking, hair stuck to his forehead with sweat and soot, clutching his bear like it was the last piece of home he had left. He didn't move. He just stared at the fire, frozen. The stairs were already creaking and popping from the heat, but I didn't think. I just ran up, smoke stinging my eyes, every step burning my feet, but I made it to him. Scooped him up, his arms locking around my neck, both of us coughing now. I got you. I whispered. I got you, baby. The fire was everywhere, roaring, greedy, wild. The back stairs, blocked. The hallway, flames. Only one way out, the window. We were on the second floor, but you know what? In moments like that, you don't think about consequences, you just move. I smashed the window with a lamp, glass everywhere. Smoke rushing in. Ethan cried out. His bear slipped from his grip. I grabbed it, because that's what you do when you promise a child you'll protect them. You hold on to what matters. Climbed up onto the sill, held him tight, and jumped. I won't lie, it hurt. I landed hard, ankle screaming in pain, grass cold and wet beneath me. But I didn't let go of him. Curled my body around him, taking the worst of the landing, and as the house behind us exploded with fire and broken glass, alarms finally started to wail. Neighbors ran outside, someone shouted. A man pulled out his phone to call 911, but it was all just noise to me. I was too busy holding Ethan, listening to him sob into my neck, both of us shaking. Then, as the sirens wailed in the distance, Ethan lifted his head. His face was streaked with ash, eyes huge and scared, and he whispered 2 words that chilled me to the bone. They knew. I blinked, still coughing, trying to understand. He looked back at the house, at the untouched red convertible in the driveway, like it had been spared on purpose. They knew I was inside, he said, and I felt something cold settle in my stomach. That front door, I remembered it now. Locked from the outside. No staff left, just me. His mom gone all morning, his dad off in Europe. The smoke alarms? Silent. The fire, too fast, too clean. It wasn't just bad luck, it was a setup. The more I thought about it, the more my hands shook, clutching Ethan tighter. This wasn't over. If I hadn't been there, nobody would have known until it was too late. Fire trucks pulled up, medics rushed in, someone bandaged my ankle, put an oxygen mask on Ethan. I just sat there, numb, my mind racing over the puzzle pieces that suddenly made too much sense. Within the hour, investigators confirmed it. A gas leak, a candle in the study. Smoke alarms disconnected, front door lock tampered with. Someone had deleted the main security footage, but they missed the backup. Rookie mistake. The footage showed Ethan's mother, Mrs. Cartwright, leaving, glancing back at her own son before locking the door behind her. She called someone and said, "He'll sleep through anything." That's not neglect. That's intent. Now, let me back up a sec. Where was Mr. Cartwright? 3 days later, police found him in Switzerland. He'd been told by his wife that Ethan was staying with her mom, repairs going on at the house. He had no clue I was even there. When he finally returned, the police showed him the footage. Big, important man, knees just buckled in the viewing room. She told me she loved him, he kept saying. She said she was taking care of him. I didn't know. When he met me at the hospital, all bandaged up, smelling like smoke and bleach, he just said, "Thank you for being braver than all of us." I told him, I didn't do it for a reward. I did it because he's just a little boy. The case went public fast. Headlines everywhere. Maid saves millionaire's son. Hero exposes dark truth. Attempted murder charges filed. Turns out, if Ethan had died, a $28 million trust would have reverted to his mother. They arrested Mrs. Cartwright for arson, insurance fraud, attempted murder, the works. But me? No legal standing. Paid cash. No contract. Nothing protecting me. Yet Ethan refused to let anyone take him. Child services tried to place him with relatives. He wouldn't eat, wouldn't speak. Just whispered, "I want Maya." At the custody hearing, he held my hand, told the judge, "She saved me. I want to live with her." The room went silent. Mr. Cartwright stood up, said, "I wasn't there when my son needed me, but she was. I'm asking that Maya stay as his guardian." The judge granted joint guardianship. Me as primary caregiver, Daniel Cartwright to provide support, and a commitment to be present. As we left the courthouse, reporters shouted, "How does it feel to go from maid to guardian of a millionaire's son?" I just looked down at Ethan, holding his bear tight, and said, "I wasn't just a maid. I was someone who stayed when it mattered." That line went viral. Daniel started a fire safety foundation in my name, set up a fund for Ethan and me. But my real reward? Quiet moments, tucking Ethan into bed in our little apartment, safe and warm. His bear still singed at the edges. One night, he asked, "Do you think the fire will come back?" I kissed his forehead and said, "No, baby, the fire is gone, and I'll never let it near you again." He smiled, closed his eyes, and for the first time, he slept peacefully. But sometimes at night I wonder, what if I hadn't been there? What if nobody believed him? Was justice really served, or did we just get lucky? That's the thing about stories like this. They never really end, do they? If you felt something from this story, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe for more true stories that'll move you or shake you, and let me know in the comments. What would you have done? Who do you think deserves justice? Let's talk about it. Stay kind, stay curious, and take care out there.